Okanagan Spirits.
Parang ako nasusuka.
May alak na? Lasim na agad. Oo nga, amoy na amoy. May yeast. May yeast. Wow.
Your ligaments or knee? Oh, okay. I got it. Years ago. Okay. I didn't hear that one. This is your cure, guy.
Alright, so we can get started a bit early. Do you want to run around first and then we get started? Or you guys stay?
You guys.
Start?
Let's go around.
I can take you guys a bit from the jail.
We can take pictures, right?
Yeah, of course you can. Pictures in jail, everything.
See, you guys have an Instagram, right? You want to ride?
Pictures, videos, it's fine.
Totally fine, man.
Thank you.
Picture of you? A lot of guys in there, so we're gonna have some in, some out. So if you guys take a picture, please on camera. Do an Instagram, Carl Spirit, you want to ride?
Why is it the jail?
That's alright. You'll be happy. Wearing it. You're all full gun on them. They're big guns.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Yeah. Excellent. Alright. Excellent, man. You guys get your very color, you want to know?
Fry.
And be nice to that poor groom.
We'll try. We forgot the seven stuff.
Is this the stag group?
Yeah.
Many different spirits. Whiskeys, of course, start with grain. Right behind you, you'll see 3 little jars. You can grab those. Pass them around. We're using those grains for making whiskey. They're grown in Lavington, just outside of Vernon. It's about 5 or 6 kilometers to the east of us. The farmer's name is Mike Witt. So right now, Mike is storing the corn for us, which is from last year, and we need some more because we've just run out. So we're putting pressure on Mike to empty the corn out of his silo so we can get it to our miller. The miller is going to grind it up because it's still whole pieces of corn. We want to have grind it up like that so that we can mash it. So mashing is a process similar to brewing. So we're going to use our mash tool out of this piece of equipment here. We were mashing yesterday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. grains in here. So yesterday or Thursday when I was doing it, it was barley. Then 2,000 liters of water. Seal the top, push some buttons. One turns the heat up to 70 degrees Celsius, one turns on the stirring mechanism. Once it gets to 70 degrees Celsius, I wait for 2 hours. At 2 hours, at the 2 hour point, then I separate the liquid from the grains. The liquid goes into this collection vessel here, and I'll pour another 2,000 liters of the same grains. There's still carbohydrates in there that we're converting into sugars. Once I repeat that process, once I've collected 4,000 liters of wort, so basically it's a precursor to beer at this point, I'll run it through a heat exchanger to lower the temperature and then pump it directly into one of these fermentation tanks right here. Then I add yeast. The yeast I use is something like a brewer's yeast. At this point, we're making beer. It takes only 3 days, sometimes 4 days to convert all the sugars in that wort into alcohol. Then we'll have 7 or 8% alcohol in our wash. If we were a brewery, we would call it a brewer's wash. We're making whiskey from this, so we're going to call it a whiskey wash. So now, this whiskey wash is basically beer, and I've known for a long time it smells great. Then one time I accidentally was using that 8,500 liter fermentation tank. I forgot that I still had pressurized hose there, and then when I lifted it out, it sprayed my face and my entire body with the wash. It tasted great. I was really, really pleased with that. But I was that drenched and had to, of course, change my clothes. But I knew it always smelled like great beer, but now it actually tasted like beer. It wasn't fizzy like beer, but it just had that flavor of really good beer. So this is still what I'm going to use for whiskey. This 650 liter copper pot column still. It's like 50 years old, but we had it redone 2016. So that's only just 4 years ago. Yeah, so one of those reconditioned, basically it's brought back to new on the inside. The outside was a bit cold weather, but that doesn't matter. So the idea with distilling is all about capturing as much alcohol as you can. So here, we're doing a fine distillation. I know that because the liquid is clear. If it's a primary distillation, then this little window will be like a brownish liquid. So let's pretend there's a brownish liquid there. So I will turn the heat up to 90 degrees Celsius. Magnesium is important because we know water evaporates at 100. Alcohol begins evaporating at the 70-degree range. And we want to try to capture more alcohol in water. So as vapors rise up the column, they're going to come into contact with copper plates, which are below each of those windows. The copper plates are cooler in temperature than the vapors that are rising. So we're going to see condensation of any water vapors and heavy alcohol vapors, but we're going to see the alcohol vapors remaining vapor because they don't hold a point of condensation. So as vapors are rising, we're going to see more and more purification of the alcohol. 650 liters of, or 7 or 8% whiskey wash is going to net me about 100 liters in the air. So we're using this to collect our whiskey. So here you can see how quickly whiskey is produced. Well, distilled anyway, not that quickly. Now, once I've collected enough to do a fine distillation, so I'll get 650 liters of that primary in here. That primary is around 40% alcohol. At this stage, we're going to take it up into the, that looks like it's 88% alcohol right there. So here, where we have to be careful, we separate the alcohols into 3 components. During distillation, you make 3 components of alcohol. The first components are those that evaporate rate at the 70 to 75 degrees Celsius. They're called the fronts or the heads. It's acetone and methanol. Is that alcohol we can drink? No, we cannot. So we separate that aside. I usually get between 8 and 10 liters of those heads. Put in this bucket, and then we use it as a cleaning solution because it is acetone and methanol. Yeah. So now the next bunch of alcohol to come out, about 50% of my production, are going to be the hearts. Hearts is ethanol. The smoothest alcohol. The alcohol you want to be drinking. Now the remaining alcohol is the heaviest alcohol. Tails. Tails are alcohols you can't drink, like acetone and methanol. just going to be aging our hearts. Our tails, what we do is we will distill them a third time to try and strip out any more heads, any more hearts, and the remaining tails will go down the drain. So we have the happiest sewer rats in town because they get drunk on the tails from distilling. They don't eat the hearts, so I'm pretty sure they're sad about that. But, now it comes off the still. I got 88% alcohol. Once I've collected enough for barreling, usually once I've collected 1,000 liters, I'm going to get at least 5 barrels. They're all 200 liters in size. Usually more than that. Probably 8. Because I'm going to soften the alcohol from 88% down to 65%. We're going to use artesian well water. Artesian well water is important because it brings flavor with it. So flavors of minerals. And that's what you want in your whiskey is flavor. Now, if we're making a vodka, we would use mineral water or artesian well water because vodka is a nutrient. Meant to have it. Alright, so we soften it to 65%. It goes into once used bourbon barrels in the case of our single malt whiskey. Those bourbon barrels were burned on the inside before they were used for aging bourbon. And once they've been used once for aging bourbon or even Tennessee whiskey, then they have to be sold. You may not age your bourbon or Tennessee whiskey in used barrels, only new barrels. But if you're aging any other kind of whiskey, whether it's rye or specialty whiskeys or single malt whiskey, you can use those used barrels. So Jack Daniels and Jim Beam, they send their barrels all over the world, including Scotland, Ireland, even Japan, Vernon, BC. We were using originally just Jack Daniels barrels. Now we've got the Jim Beam barrels. Well, we like this a little bit better, this whiskey. Now more recently we've been using Woodford Reserve barrels. So it's another Kentucky whiskey, Kentucky bourbon. Last year, 2 years ago in May, we actually bought our own barrels. So these barrels came out of Missouri. There's a cooperage there that produces big 200-liter white American oak barrels. They char them on the inside for us, and then they send it to us with our label on it, and it looked great. It was a sunny day, 25 degrees Celsius. I get to work on a Friday, and Tony, the owner, says, "Oh, can you give me a hand to go back?" So at the beginning of that year, I began mentoring as a distiller. So I learned very quickly that mentoring as a distiller meant moving heavy things around. So I thought, okay, great. I'm going to move something heavy into Tony's truck or something heavy out of Tony's truck. I got it. To get back there are 50 brand new white American oak barrels with our logos on the outside. And he goes, "John, you can fill these barrels with whiskey today." So that was my best day on the job as a mentoring distiller. I got to hang out in the sunshine. So when they press the grapes to make that wine, they send the grapes to us. We then put them in one of the fermentation tanks in the back, add some yeast. The yeast we use is just like a wine yeast. And then what we do is we convert all the sugars in those grapes and the grape juice into alcohol and then distill it twice. Essentially, we make a grape spirit. They use that grape spirit to fortify their wine. So that fortified wine gets aged in French oak barrels, which are 225-liter barrels. It ages in there for 18 months. But as soon as they take it out of the barrels, they send those barrels to us. And then we fill them with our single malt whiskey. So we empty the Jack Daniels barrels or the Jim Beam barrels or the Woodford Reserve barrels into these French oak barrels. Now, we have an agreement with Wales Gate that these barrels come to us moist. So they still have some fortified wine in there. But the real important part, it must have the sediment from that fortified wine. Because that sediment will have concentrated flavor and concentrated color of that fortified wine. So now as our whiskey goes in there, it has softened itself from 65% alcohol to 58. Scotland is typically damp, whether cool and damp, cold and damp, or warm and damp, always damp. Vernon is always dry. You guys came up from Vancouver, did you? Yeah. Vancouver is typically white wine. So on the drive up here, you age for about 2 or 3 years. You probably feel it in your skin. It's always dry. Your lips are dry. So our Angels are much more greedy. We're losing somewhere between 8 and 10% alcohol per volume per year, where they only lose between 2.5 and 3% in Scotland. So now there's a benefit of that increased evaporation. Maybe you need 12 years to get a really good whiskey in Scotland, but here we get a really good whiskey in 5 or 6 years because of that accelerated evaporation. Let's see. So into those French oak barrels, spends between 6 months and a year in those French oak barrels, overseeing our whiskey, picking up the color and flavor of that. And our cask strength traditional single malt whiskeys in a black label. We have 3 other whiskeys: bourbon style corn whiskey, our rye whiskey, and our hop whiskey. I'll talk about the hop whiskey right now. So hopped whiskey is where we take this still during this stage of distilling. So the fine distilling, we're going to add Cascadia hops to the still. So as the whiskey primary boils up, you're going to see the flavor of that Cascadia hop infused into the vapors coming off the still. We can't call it single malt whiskey anymore because it's not just malted barley, it's malted barley and also Cascadia hops. But the flavor, the smell of that Cascadia hops comes very, very subtly, but it's extremely delicious whiskey. Again, that's another whiskey we have at 42%. Our rye and our bourbon are a bit softer at 40%. The rye starts mashed in over there, 51% rye grains and 49% malted barley. We mix those grains together, do the same process of making our whiskey wash for our single malt whiskey. It's just a difference in the grains. Single malt whiskey and our rye, they can go in used barrels. Bourbon, or BRBN, bourbon style corn whiskey, because we can't call it bourbon. It's going to use 54% corn, 46% malted barley. Those are going to go into new barrels. The bourbon and the rye are both aged for 3 years. Our hopped whiskey is aged for 4, and our single malt is aged for 5.5 to 6 years. I'm going to show you guys a little bit. Now, you can stay there. I'm going to bring it over here. We can see it's burned on the inside. The reason we're burning that wood is so that we can pick up color and flavor. That smokiness is going to come into your whiskey while it's aging in these barrels. If you touch it, you see it still has soot. Look at your thumb. And so this has already been used 3 times. So once by Jack Daniels, then twice by us. Once for a rye, and once for a single malt whiskey. So the thing is, after 3 times, it loses some of its liquid tightness. Also, you're going to lose some of the flavors. You don't get as much flavor coming out of a barrel the 4th time as it does the other time.
Does it smell
Smoky.
How often? How many times do you use one barrel?
Well, it's going to be, definitely we're going to use it 3 times, maybe 4 times. But beyond that time, we're going to lose, there's a chance there's going to be leakage. And of course, leakage is bad news when you can't recover from that, right? And you're going to get possibly more evaporation. That's right. You need to have some evaporation so you can get that concentration of flavor, but you don't want to have an extreme amount of evaporation. Shall we go to the whiskey tasting room and have a taste of something? It'll make your knee not throb anymore. So we go through something like 18,000 pounds of apples every week. You crush up the apples, you put them into those fermentation tanks in the back. The juice and the pulp are used for making our neutral spirit. So if I'm making a vodka, I'm going to use just fermented apple juice. So this is fermented pulp, so I'm going to use this for the base alcohol for beer. So this one we can see is right at 90 degrees Celsius. Same concept as the little one over there. Vapor dries, come into contact with those copper plates. Here we can see how quickly we make alcohol from fermented apple. And right now I see the alcohol percentage is 30%. At the beginning of the batch, remember, we're going to get just the very first alcohols coming out of the fermented apple juice. It's going to be like 90% alcohol, but it's going to be acetone and ethanol, right? Then the next little stage is going to be maybe 70% alcohol. That's going to be all ethanol. At the very end, it's going to be between 5 and 10%. That's going to be more of the tails, so the isopropanol. But at this stage, we collect all of that. We're going to keep it and then redistill it. It's during that second distillation where we split them up into the evil alcohol, the yummy alcohol, and the rough alcohol. That's right, heads, hearts, and tails. So this is what we call a collection term. collecting the alcohol coming off the still. It goes through this condenser. This is the hydrometer. It goes through these pipes, through here, into there. So this is what we call apple primary from pulp. We always, when I was distilling on Thursday, it was just apple juice I got to work with. So I knew that was going to be a vodka. The pulp was going to be the base alcohol for the cures. So now if I'm going to make a gin, I'm going to produce my vodka. So basically, I first of all strip the alcohol out of the juice here.
Okay.
And once I've collected enough, I'm going to run it in this still here. That is our neutral still. So that neutral still can distill up to 96.5%. So at 96.5%, there's no flavor of apple left anymore. Lots and lots of alcohol. Soften it with reverse osmosis water because it doesn't have flavor. That gives me our vodka. Now, if we're making gin, we'll take the vodka we just produced, put it back in this still, and add botanicals. We use botanicals collected locally. Juniper berry is the #1 botanical to make a gin. And spruce tips, which is harvested in May, so when they're softer and the flavor's more subtle. Spruce tips, rose petals, tarragon, lemon balm, orris root. Rose petals are harvested from that guy's wife's rose garden. So that's they have distilled in their theater. So yeah, as you can tell when he's been harvesting her rose petals because she gets a little bit grumpy. But you gotta have gin, man. You gotta have the gin. So turn the heat up on the vodka, and as the vodka boils up, the vapors coming off the still will be infused with the flavors of all those botanicals we put into the still. We get this condenser here. Condense the vapors down. 85% alcohol comes through here on the hydrometer. Then we would soften it to 40 or 42% for our gin. You may have heard 3 years ago Bombay Sapphire accidentally bottled their still strength gin. They didn't water it down. So they bottled it, packaged it, shipped it out, and it was only 10 days later they recognized their error. They issued a worldwide recall on all those bottles and boxes of gin. Opened up their receiving docks 24/7 for the next month. I think one bottle sent back. Could you imagine you bought some Bombay Sapphire gin and you're making your auntie a nice double gin and tonic like she usually has, and she has one and she's out like a light. Auntie, did you have a rough night? But also because when there's a mistake like that, those bottles become collector's items. So people will then sell them for a great amount or keep them because they are. So I set up for 9.
There you go.
So choose your spot, anywhere you like.
Yeah, it is.
Instagram worthy.
Oh, sorry.
This setup is Instagram.
Sige, dyan ka lang.
Ito.
Oh, yeah.
Stop. Round 2. Po.
Thank you.
Kumunyon na, kumunyon.
Thank you, bud.
Bakit wala silang single?
So the beer is to help you cleanse your palate in between each of the whiskeys. You see in front of you every whiskey that I talked about today. In this base paper, we see first our bourbon style corn whiskey, then comes our rye whiskey, and then the hopped whiskey, and finally we're going to go from left to right with the single malt whiskeys. First it's the rum barrel finish, then our gold medal winning single malt whiskey with the gold label, and then finally the cask strength at 56% alcohol, which is delicious. But really, really intense cans and gold. You'll also see a glass next to your beer glass, and some people like to pour a little too little beer, so yeah, just let me know, I'll give you more. That's for after we have a couple of sips from your whiskey. You're going to take that spoon and put it into the water and then drip 2 or 3 drops into your whiskey to see if it changes the nature of the whiskey. And you'll be surprised if it does. The glasses in front of you are called Glencairn glasses. They're a Scottish style of glass which are designed especially for tasting whiskeys. Now, when you use your when you pick up your whiskey, this is what I always do, and it's the wrong thing to do. I stick my nose right in there. Now, when you do that, you overpower your senses of your nose. You're meant to hold it under your nose and then just bring it back and forth like this. And just breathe naturally through your nose. When you do sip your whiskey, take a little sip, put that on your palate, and then breathe out your mouth. I try to do that at the beginning, and I always forget, but I'm telling you, and good luck. Because by the time we get to here, you'll have no idea what we were talking about in the first place. Oh no. One group I had were young guys in their 20s, all from nearby here. And I had 2 of these guys sitting right here. They would shoot every one instead of actually. You're supposed to take a little sip and another sip, the water and some more sips, because each sip you take conditions your palate. So the first sip is just, oh, I just got all the booze. The second sip, oh, there's more flavors I get, like raisins, or I get rubber, or whatever things that you imagine you get. Grilled cheese. So here next to you, you'll see tasting notes, and right there's a tasting wheel which gives you some words that you could use to describe the whiskey. I just think some of them are kind of funny because, well, it says rubbery. I've never tasted a rubbery whiskey.
Sulfury, sandy.
Sandy. So first we'll start with our bourbon. Take a tiny little sip. There you go. The one on your left. Of course, corn to Germany. And so at that point, it's considered malted. So you would take your malted barley and put it into a kiln and dry it. So the kiln we use is up in Armstrong, so just a little town to the north of us here. Gambrinus is our malter. They only have a hot forced air kiln. Now in Scotland, they use wood-fired kilns, so you can taste more of the flavors. And so by adding the water and your saliva, once again, so at 30% alcohol is where your tongue can taste more flavors than alcohol. So it doesn't really go through that same sort of numbness and dehydration. We have a product that we make called Absinthe. It's at 60%. So more alcohol than water. So when you sip on that one, your tongue really does go numb. When you sip on it, it gives you that numbness, and then you're flooding your mouth with all this saliva, and then it softens the alcohol enough where it releases the oils from the anise and the fennel on your palate. So then you get even more of the flavor of that licorice.
You can buy it, but it's
So-
not as strong.
So in 2007, the BC government asked us if we would produce a traditional style of absinthe. Because at that time it was banned in Europe and banned in the US, banned in the UK, Australia, New Zealand. It was never banned in Canada. But the only stuff we could get was coming from Eastern Europe. And these Eastern Europeans didn't have a history of making absinthe. They had a history of making vodka. Now absinthe, the traditional recipe calls for a cherry base. So you take a cherry alcohol, you redistill it with grand wormwood, green anise, star anise, fennel, hyssop, lemon balm, and petit wormwood. And as you turn up the heat on your still and you boil up that cherry alcohol, those flavors are infused into the vapors coming off the still. Specifically, you're going to get that licorice, some mint, and some citrus. Gets to the condenser, 85% alcohol, and we can put that into a bottle if we wanted to. We don't. We choose to soften it to 60% because at 60%, during this traditional method of making absinthe, it's sippable straight. Now the stuff that we were buying from Eastern Europe is just basically an overproof vodka, so a grain alcohol, that they artificially flavor, artificially color, and then add some wormwood oil to each bottle to say, haha, it is authentic absinthe. Well, it is authentic because it has wormwood in it. The Latin name of wormwood is Artemisia absinthium. So as soon as you have wormwood in your bottle, with your anise and your fennel, then you can call it absinthe. Now Czech stuff and Hungarian stuff is really, really harsh. It really burns. It tastes more like fuel than something you want to sip on. So while the government commission doesn't do this, so we started producing it. Americans would buy it, take it to the border, and have it confiscated by the border patrol because it was illegal in the U.S. It was, the ban wasn't lifted in Europe until 2008. The ban wasn't lifted in some states until 2011. So we were producing it when it was still legal in those parts of the world. Since we never really had a history of making anise-based spirits, there was no reason to ban it in Canada.
So we can still get absinthe.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been making that absinthe since 2007, and it's been a very, very popular spirit of ours. And if you love licorice, it's delicious. If you don't like licorice, it's haunting because it stays on your palate for a long time. Because remember, those oils have just released onto your tongue, and oils don't disappear quickly. So if we want to, we can move on to the second. Second sip, there's a lot more spice there. And my brain interprets that spice sometimes as more heat. Though they're both 40% alcohol, that rye seems like it's got a bit more alcohol to it. It doesn't. It's just that spiciness of the grain itself.
Yeah. It is spicy.
It's also it's a denser grain, so it's heavier. When we're mashing it in, because of that heaviness, it begins expanding. And it almost creates like a porridge that's so thick that it won't pump. And of course, you have to pump liquid to and fro our mash tun in the collection vessels. So whenever we're working with our rye whiskeys, all the distillers are crumpy because it's a whole lot of work. You take that alcohol, then it goes in a bottle. You have to be smart enough to separate the heads from the hearts and then from the tails. Now the heads you can use as fuel, starting your fires or whatever, and the hearts you want to make for your own personal collection, and the tails you give to your cousins. You don't mind if they get a hangover, but you would prefer not to. So we always have fruit flies here because we always have fruit in the back. They love tasting whiskey. At the end of my shift, it's company policy that Tony buys you a cocktail, and my cocktail of choice is always whiskey. Whenever I pour myself one of these, if I don't pay attention, I'll find 2 or 3 fruit flies in it.
Really?
Now if I have a single malt whiskey or a cask strength or the rye or the bourbon, they don't come near it. But because to them, the nose of this, it has a little bit of sweetness to it, they go, oh, that must be a new fruit, I don't know. So they go in and take a little swim, and pretty soon they're drunk or dead.
It's company policy.
It's not a bad job.
No.
But you know why? Because if I am consuming more,
Yeah, it's really good.
and then you stop drinking the cheap stuff because you recognize it's going to poison you. It's going to make you sick.
Yeah.
So, groom to be, what do you do? Okay. That's just not car to car, or is it or central to car?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah. So we support all the dispatching. And call. We don't do it without dispatching.
Yeah.
So like your system, we're going to
Your IT.
Yes, exactly. Likely, yes. But then it's fun too because I get to go on.
John Sleeman
Okay.
in 5 years, and then John Sleeman was bought up by Sapporo. So now Sapporo brought in a lot more controls, and so everybody has to wear like hazmat suits and everything. You know, because it's like a food safety thing as well.
Exactly.
Whereas before, I could go and visit Stefan or anybody else at the brewery, walk over, take a fresh bottle right off the bottling line.
Yeah.
Didn't wear steel-toed boots or a hairnet or anything like that. It was just, yeah, it was great. And I was also friendly with the original distiller, Frank Dieter, at our old location, so I could go have free beer with Stefan, and then I could have free spirits with Frank. And then I would have to figure out how to get home.
No, for your right.
Perks of the biz.
Yeah, perks of the biz, yeah. So Stefan invented that recipe for 1516. When he started, they already had a brewer, and that brewer had 4 or 5 beers already. But Stefan wanted to create his own unique beer that's going to be more like what he remembers from Bavaria. And so that 1516 is a traditional Bavarian style lager. Yeah, they don't do tours there anymore, but there was a time they did. But as soon as you got the corporation involved, Sapporo, then all that stuff went out the window.
I didn't think Sapporo was that big.
Yeah. Probably not here.
I thought because they only sell the 6-packs and then the tall one.
Yeah. The
That's it.
Sapporo that you drink here in North America is produced in Guelph by Johnson.
Okay.
So even when I would get it in Bermuda, it was Schliemann that was making it. So they always had a cooperative agreement to brew Sapporo in North America, and then Sapporo was bought eventually. As far as Japanese beers that still come from Japan, it's Asahi.
Asahi.
That
Oh,
one's still
Asahi.
Kirin. Kirin, yeah.
Kirin?
I thought that's Japanese.
It's made here. It's made in Ontario.
But it's to their recipe
Yeah,
and their
to their
specifications. Of course,
Oh, you already tasted it.
Yes.
It's spicy.
Yeah, I was talking a lot.
It is spicy. Oh yeah, I tried this thing.
Was that the calculator they got? I was like, I think I can work that one out of my head. But sometimes you're gonna get like a factor, and it's gonna be like 1.1973. So that I can't really do.
Yeah.
Multiplying that times 840 liters. And so in all of those totes, we record the alcohol percentage to 1/10% and liters to 1/10 of a liter, because that's what's expected by the BC Liquor Control Board. And both they and the federal alcohol commission, they come in and they do surprise audits from time to time. I always try to be super friendly to those guys, thinking that's going to help out. Because we got fined $400,000 because of missing alcohol, and so that was a big fine. And then it turns out when we actually went through our records were totally up to date, but his spreadsheet had a typo in it and it missed the fact for 40,000 liters of alcohol. So we did not have to pay that, but we didn't pay. Well, they say you're supposed to pay it immediately. So instead, we challenged it, and then were able to find the mistake in his spreadsheet.
Wow.
But that would make for a very sad Tony if we had to pay $400,000.
Yeah.
400 boots?
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah, for missing 40,000 liters, so $10 over here. Because that's what we pay in. It's like $12.45 federal excise tax per liter on every bottle. And then there's a provincial excise tax of 50% of the federal excise tax. So we would pay excise tax both during bottling and then moving it from the warehouse to the front of the house. So that's 12, 18 bucks there. I don't know exactly the from the front to the food digging. Yeah, that's right. When we started in 2003, we did not have a distiller's license, but we were fermenting and distilling fruits from the Okanagan Valley 2004 we got our license, so then we were no longer moonshiners, we were actually accredited distillery.
It all started in somebody's backyard.
That's right.
Yeah.
Always like
Because
this.
Frank used to go out to the local orchards to see what they would do with their fruit cups. So those are the fruits they can't sell. Because they're too ugly, too large, or too small for the sorting machines in the packing houses. And they said, yeah, we just give them to family until they don't want them, then we just bury them, essentially compost them. So Frank says, well, how about I pay your pickers to pick all that fruit, and I put it back in my pickup. So that was great for the pickers, because they got more pay. Great for the orchardists, because they didn't have to deal with fruits they couldn't sell anyway. Great for Frank, because he got nearly free fruit. And so if he screwed up a batch, it wasn't such a heartbreak, because the investment in the raw product wasn't that great. In the beginning, you are learning. Though Frank was an experienced distiller, the German master distiller. Germans are, of course, the master distiller. He knew what he was doing, but he was also mentoring Peter, our current head distiller. And so Peter is mentoring me, but he always keeps a little bit of information close to his chest because, well, job security. They even tells me that side of the bar, I can be on this side of the production facility and I get to learn. And learning is great. Doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah, always.
As long as you're learning, it's good for old brains.
That's right.
Yeah, so dive into your cask strength if you haven't yet. You'll notice a lot more flavor on your nose, heat coming from the alcohol itself. As you sip it, you're going to get that dehydration because of more alcohol than water. And then,
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Taste it.
My brain said, what are you doing?
exactly.
What was that?
Probably gonna be beautiful in the end.
Younger sister.
Yeah.
Because you said he was old.
Oh yeah, he is. No, he's not.
So old.
This guy's
Not.
old.
Good.
Christmas?
Wednesday was the birthday for not married anymore. I've got a girlfriend now. Yeah, she turned 32. So we went out with a guy I contract work for. He's 35. His wife is 39, and then there's another woman there, 39, and then Gustavo from Brazil, 44. And I was like the oldest one at the table. But she's like, it was so great because new people. Algeras, she's from Mexico. My girlfriend's from Mexico. So it was like they could talk a lot, and my boss from Veg Pro, he's from Quebec. So it was like, oh, and then Brazilian. So all these languages are going on at the table at the same time. Got Spanish and German, a little bit of French, but mostly English though. But when I'm working on Veg Pro, since they're based out of Quebec, lots of times I'll get requests for support in French. Then lots of the summertime, lots of the field workers, the farmers, are all coming from Mexico, so I get to work my Spanish with those guys. So it's a really great job. I get some three MI5 spies in the country and a guy from CIA. Both of them, if they were sitting at this table right now, you wouldn't even know they were here. Because they would just sit, watch, and not really communicate. Respond when spoken to, but not initiate any conversation. I was like, I can't do that. That's awkward. Yeah.
So your interview probably
they get
is talking.
Overshare.
Yeah, exactly. And I totally got that. I can totally overshare. Me too, but it's just my nature.
Yeah, like social.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could write the spy exams, but I had a friend who was a couple of years older than me, and so he goes, yeah, their foreign service exams are coming up, and there's a section that allows you to become a spy. I'm just going to try and do that. I said, fucking me, I'm going to do that too. I I never got to become James Bond, so that's why I had to become a banking systems analyst so I could travel the world. And lots of times I try to explain to people what I did, and they're like, sounds like you're a spy. That sounds like a real job. Okay.
That's a cover up.
James Bond needs a good IT guy.
Yeah.
There's always one in the team.
That's right.
Yeah. And a good driver.
Shaken, not stirred.
That's right. Shaken because a shaken martini is produced more quickly than a stirred martini, so that he can get out of the room quicker in case he needs to.
That's what it is?
That's the reason.
Shaken martini takes 30 seconds. A stirred martini takes 2 or 3 minutes.
I
thought that was just his line because
I thought so.
it's just his line.
yeah, I thought it was just.
Now you know.
You learned something.
I learned something today.
In addition to all of this. Yeah. Probably gonna discuss stuff tonight when we drink. We're not just gonna drink to get drunk.
Start a backyard.
This is a nice experience.
Thank you.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Yeah, my way, Craig's way and my way are a little bit different just because our personalities are different. He talks a little bit less. I love to talk. It's not just the sound of my own voice I love. I do like to share things that I think people are going to appreciate. So maybe something a bit personal, but lots of detail about the processes. He's more eloquent when it comes to describing flavors. And often suggests what people might be tasting. I like people just to taste it and then have their own ideas.
Yeah.
You know, I encourage them to look at the flavor wheel, but I never use any of those words. But I do know that heat or spice or those sort of words are just natural when you're thinking about drinking whiskey. He used to work in the wine industry, so he's got that repertoire of vocabulary.
How was it?
It doesn't taste like apples, but just
No, it
the
doesn't taste like apple.
base, the sugars that we get from the apples are what we convert into
Let me try.
alcohol, and then alcohol gets purified from stills. And our goal is to make smooth alcohol. You want to taste one too?
Can you finish this?
Ako na mag-finish.
I just tasted it.
Very few Peter cleaning out that still, but he was distilling that fermented apple sauce. One thing I did mention is there's a reason why all this food is on the top. We know that nasty sulfur compounds called sulfites are a byproduct of any kind of fermentation. Whether you're fermenting for beer, wine, or spirits. So it turns out that sulfites bond with copper to create a neutral compound called copper sulfate, which stays in the still. So we're extracting all the sulfites during distilling. So by only using the hearts for our spirits and extracting sulfites during distilling, you're essentially making hangover-free alcohol. So long as you remember to hydrate.
As long as.
Yeah, so long. Not easy to do.
That's key.
It is key.
And that's the absinthe?
Here's the absinthe. Starts its life as cherry alcohol, redistilled with grand wormwood, green anise, star anise fennel, hyssop, lemon balm, petite wormwood. There's a little bit of color to it that's added after distilling. It comes from plant chlorophyll. So take a little sip,
Smell it.
and you can decide if we're gonna add some water, because traditionally this is drank with
Pabango.
water.
You said traditional drink with weird smell.
So here is the traditional absinthe fountain. So here we would have a sugar cube on the slotted spoon. You could pour your absinthe over the sugar cube. Then you're gonna get about this much absinthe in here, and then you titrate water in through the sugar cube as well till it's dissolved and then stir it all in. It'll go from almost clear to cloudy. If you're drinking the Czech stuff, once you pour your absinthe over the sugar cube, you'll light that sugar cube on fire and then douse it with cold water, stirring that caramelized sugar into the absinthe. Caramelizing the sugar helps hide the harshness of the base alcohol. Of course, remember we know that absinthe coming out of the Czech Republic is just overproof vodka that's not distilled a third time, but actually just artificially flavored and colored. Czech absinthe will often be like neon green or aqua blue, so not at all natural colors. That just comes from food.
That's what I imagine when you say absinthe.
I think originally it was green. Was it?
Yeah, fluorescent.
Or is it
You
because of that?
traditionally it is colored with plant chlorophyll. So you take leaves and you soak your absinthe in it. Whereas the Czech stuff, aqua blue and neon green, that is actually green. And try it.
There's a gold one in there.
Want some water? Tastes like no, it tastes like
Sambuca.
chambuca.
Uso.
Plant, something like plant or something. Tastes like plant.
Oregano?
Green.
How's the saliva going down?
A lot's going down.
Hours na. Nagutom ako. Nag-expect ko nga 3 hours. Hindi ako lalabas. Maga pa.
2:45.
Sa ano? Sa tasting.
Iwan mo natin ito sa loob.
Ang gagawin natin?
Pagkano
Yung part there?
Pagkano yung ano? I think we have.
Kasi, puro doon na lang.